and welcome. My name is Corinna Reibchen and I'm founder and global CEO of the passcon group. We are specialized in anti-financial crime, including KYC, transaction monitoring, investigations, sanctions, and supporting our clients all around the world. So today I want to explain you a little bit more what we mean with the real production environment in KYC. So some weeks ago we published our white paper about turn your KYC organization into a real production environment. I can show you here. So this is what we have published. You can download this on our internet site. And I get so many requests from our clients and people I talk to. So Corinna, what do you mean really with the KYC production environment? And today I want to explain what we mean by this. So for us, a KYC, it's very similar to a car manufacturing process. So, but only when you turn your organization into this kind of manufacturing stuff, you can get all the benefits out of it. So that means, first of all, full regulatory compliance. You will never ever have one more overdue in your queue when you follow this production process. Second, of course, we gain a lot of cost benefits, 50% and more, because we have 100% transparency over all KYC around the world. So you have one headquarter of this KYC and you have control of nearly every KYC in the world. So that means you can exactly see where are your gaps and where you can gain cost efficiencies. And third, you also have a very good planning of your staff. How many specialists do you need? How many analysts do you need? Because we can exactly track production times. Production times, we can track quality KPIs, and then we can exactly see how many KYCs coming into our queue and how many staff do we need in each center you have around the world. For this KYC. That means we have completely also a real forecast on people you need for this entire portfolio of KYCs you needs to get done in the next months or next year, regular reviews. And of course, you have also forecasting for your NCAs and also EDRs in place. So that's very important to know. So it means we are focusing on regulatory compliance, cost efficiencies, and real planning of the stuff you need, forecasting, so that you get 100% everything in control. So this is what is our target with this environment. So, but the question is now how can we get there? So of course it takes time and we are supporting with the process to get there. But first of all, you need to see where you stand, of course. So often we need to deal with not really transparency of the whole process. Where do we have interfaces? So first of all, we set up this whole production process into our system so that we really get the 100% transparency of the whole KYC process chain, meaning from front office to back office, so that we have the whole chain under control and have all the responsibilities. So we are checking, do we have all the responsibilities? For example, we are starting with kind of book of work manager. So often they are not in, so it's not very clear who is really dealing with the KYCs. So who is giving the KYCs to the certain analysts. So this we need to have a real book of work manager in place, dealing with the whole amount of KYCs in place globally. Then we need to get all this really production and people in place. And what is very important, we need to get the people with us. So that means there need to be a big mind change, because often they are not thinking in production. They are thinking in their old environment. And this is something we need to explain to them what's now very important, so that everyone really stays into their process steps and also commits to a certain processing time. So when we talk about SLAs between front and back office, so it's very important that we have a commitment on processing times, on responding times, How do we proceed with the client outreach, for example? What's about the approval process? Often the KYCs are sitting with front or back office waiting for kind of approvals, and then the whole process is stopped. So this is what we need to avoid. So it means that we first of all need to deal with all the relevant process participants. So what do we have for a role in our production? And when we have this, and when we get this change in mind, so what we would like to what we really would like to change in the process in the organization, then we first of all need to see how the processes looks like, how does the process is of course also ready to be in production, do they have local or global strategies? So we are digging really into the details of all the processing steps. We are implementing the processing roles. We are seeing where they have the centers right now, and then we start with the current process and seeing what are the production time right now, because to get some transparency about the volume of KYCs coming into each month. We need to get transparency of the processing time, because often they are not very clear really end to end. So that means we get full 100% transparency all around the world. Often we are starting with kind of region, kind of hub, so that we take this as a kind of pilot. And then we are going over and for this kind of pilot area, we are working exactly on this current process step. Normally they don't have SLAs in place, they are missing KPIs, so we need to implement this whole production environment. That means SLAs between front office, back office, AFC compliance, so everyone in the process chain needs to commit on that. Then we need really to figure out who can be this kind of book of work managers. How do we split the teams? We are working in kind of cell mode, so that means that multiple KYC analysts have one specialist they can reach out. So we need to check that we can really organize this in this really production kind of working area. And then of course the real important thing is daily reporting. So we have, with our tool what we use, Go KYC, we have a real-time reporting. So we are transparent on nearly everything. And we need to deep dive into this KPI area. So that means what would you like to set for KPIs? What are the must-have KPIs? So we are focusing on quality and quantity KPIs. So that means quality KPIs, for example, we are counting the rejections, and also we have in the production environment a real rejection analysis, because it's very important that we also know what kind of rejections do we get. Are this admin rejections? Are this really quality content rejections, for example, for source of funds, source of wealth, so that we really can see are there areas we need to train the people, the analysts, or are these more admin areas, typos or whatever. So that's the really important part, that we commit with each analyst on kind of quality KPIs, e.g. rejections, number of rejections, and then the quantitative KPIs, kind of how many KYCs you need to submit a day. So that's different to kind of type of business. So do I have a CIB client, a private client, a wealth management client? But this is very, very important to get this setup in place, and because otherwise you don't know what the targets are. So, and then it's hard to work in kind of production environment. So that means we are setting up this for this kind of pilot phase with all the production roles in place, with the KPIs, and then we are starting from there with kind of test phase normally, where we see how does it work. So what was the past experience, because we can show, I think, in a really short time frame of really 3 to 4 months, the real difference, so that really everyone knows what are the targets, what they are working against, and Of course, for the management, 100% transparency. We need exactly to know how many KYCs coming into the queue, how many people they need, and of course that we get speed into our production. So this is what are really the basics of it. And we have several clients and it works really. So we get everything under control, no regulatory rush, and also so that the front office guys, they can really concentrate on their business, and back office and management is not only dealing with KYC. So that means if you have this organization, this KYC production organization implemented, so you can really focus on your business, making money, dealing with your clients, and of course, and the management, that they can focus on their original topics. So that's for the moment. So more to follow from us. And if you have more questions, please reach out to us, and then we can see how we can help you. So